The following is a production of cprundown.com. The views and opinions expressed by the hosts of this podcast are those of the individual and not of any affiliated companies. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast covering the Six Flags Entertainment Corporation, the amusement industry, and everything to do with fun. Here are your hosts, Carson Anderson, Evan Schultz, and Kyle Hu.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast where we cover Six Flags, Cedar Points, and everything to do with fun. All right, I'm gonna have to work on that timing a little bit. New intro, if nobody can tell.
Brand new intro. Like, shout out to Justin and definitely shout out to Kyle for making
that is why we've been off for a month.
Yeah, making everyone think that their radio is broken or their AirPod. Like, literally, you sent that to me earlier, and I was like, "What's wrong with my phone?" Because I was literally, a little side note, it's been snowing here a lot over in Ohio, and literally I was like, I know my phone got a little wet, but I'm like, did my phone speaker get screwed up? And sure enough, that I was coming in real clutch.
And you're all good.
Yeah. So hopefully, I mean, I think when I hear that, it's like, it's a fun, like, I want to, like, I don't know, cruise down the road with the top down and just you listen to Baby I'm Ready to Go and just let's go. You know, it's a summer party. So Kyle, good job.
Yeah, fun and summary. Good job, Kyle.
Freaking awesome. But yeah, no, it has been a few weeks.
I was looking at the calendar. I think we recorded either like the 18th or 19th of December the last time.
Yeah, it feels like it's been so long. It's almost been a month. Yeah. And we've had people that were asking us when we were record again, and you know, there wasn't a whole lot of news, but we picked really.
I'm gonna pat myself on the back here. Last week we were like, should we record?
Yeah.
Should we record? And it wasn't gonna work out great timing wise. And I'm like, hey, you know, maybe since we're waiting a week, they'll drop Winter Chill Out info. And boom, that they did.
That and then some. They definitely, the park definitely dropped a lot of info, and we'll get into that for sure. But let's just hit the ground running here, and I've got a little bit of a Siren's Curse update.
If it's an update, we don't really remember if it's an update.
Yeah, right. No, this is definitely an update. It was after the new year, and the park moved the webcam over to the Siren's Curse construction area. And it was on, I believe, just for a day, and then it moved back to wherever. So I was telling you this off mic, but I know that, like, it seems like it gets lost, but I kind of like the not crazy big updates and not knowing exactly what's going on per se. I know people are going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't stand it. But it kind of brings me back to, like, before I was like actual coaster enthusiast, but like when people would literally not know what was going on when they were building Magnum or they were building like Raptor and things like that, and all they would have is either like the Ace, like the magazine that they used to have, or
no, they still have it. Or I still get it.
They still have it. Or it would be like a newspaper article or something that they would get in, and they would have like a picture of, oh hey, by the way, this is opening in, 2000, showing off Millennium Force, and you're like, what? Like right before, things the internet was around and the webcams were around and stuff. So it's kind of nice to see, like a peek at some things, whatever. But I do also agree that it's kind of, so.
Old man, I grew up, and Kyle grew up watching webcams, watching rides be constructed. I remember watching Gatekeeper and Valraven so closely, and Steel Vengeance too, but that was also over the course of like 2 seasons.
I mean,
but
we say that, but the webcams I grew up with only refreshed like once every minute.
Yeah, it was every 60 seconds.
Yes, this is true. This is true.
And it wasn't like an auto refresh. You literally would stay on that page and you would have to hit the refresh button every single time. You're like, what was going on?
I remember the little like timer in the corner of the screen that they used to like count down. But
yeah,
still, it was a live webcam, and we watched Valraven get built, quote unquote, in real time.
Yeah.
And I miss that. I want that, but whatever. Anyways, what's going on with Siren's Curse?
Well, yeah. So we got to see that on the webcam, and we could see that. Holy cow! Was that Evan? You could say this as well. Like, I was not expecting it to be so far into the midway, because I was like, maybe they could have kept the stage or the original like area where he used to enter Iron Dragon. No way. Holy cow! Is that going to be transformed? And hopefully this coming Saturday, literally, I will be on a plane to Chicago, and coming back Saturday night from Chicago, because I'm going to No Coaster Con that's going to be in Chicago that Ace holds, and hopefully Tony will be there, and then also, if not be there, hopefully he'll be able to show some pictures of maybe the rendering of like what it's possibly going to look like, or what, something or whatever. But oh my gosh, does that go right over the midway? Like,
it's scary. Like, I mean, it's scary good. It's so close to the midway. I don't even remember whether I think it was the webcam that really first, but I'm just sitting there staring at it. I'm like, oh my God, the midway's like gone.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of work done too. They have like a lot of the concrete footers and everything seem to be poured or were getting poured. It looked like they were also, I don't know for sure, but it looked like they were maybe working on that tunnel kind of thing. I don't know for sure if that was the case.
Hard to place where exactly that would be.
Well, also, I believe the webcam literally went over there the day that we had like a crazy amount of snow, and it was like, really, you can't really see the everything.
They also looked like they were prepping a piece of track to be lifted into place at that point, but then the webcam was moved again before anything happened there.
Right. So we don't know for sure. I did actually get a picture from across the bay, and I did not see any track like from
but
binoculars that I bought.
Yeah. But it did look like the support tower was just about done, or done, or really close to done for the tilt section.
The big tower that you see in there. And then like looking at, because it's literally like on the webcam, you could see the spike for Top Thrill 2. And then you can obviously see Siren's Curse. It's interesting to see the colors, because like the colors looks like it literally, I don't know if it's the same exact color, but it's really freaking close.
What, the supports for Top Thrill?
Yeah.
Well,
so it's interesting. It's like, oh, hey, by the way, it's an extension.
This is unconfirmed hand-me-down.
Right. Well, you know what? I will gladly take a awesome, thrilling, crazy coaster that I don't have to go to a different state.
You don't have to go to Mexico or Poland
or something like that to be able to ride like this. Holy crap!
That was just hypothetical. I
there's a lot of
totally isn't from Mexico and then Poland before that. Anyways.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much the update. I'm curious to see, since Winter Chill Out got announced and stuff, we'll talk about that just a little bit. I'm curious to see if they'll have the train maybe on site where people can take a peek at that and stuff. I don't know. They don't have any track at least that we saw from the webcam. We didn't see any track installed, but boy, did I see a ton of track.
That was like 2.5 weeks ago.
Right. Yeah. So things could have changed, but it seems like they're really moving. And I think, I want to say, I thought I saw something where it said that they're opening it in early summer. So I don't know what that could mean, but
the press release that was from, the day it was announced in September says early summer 2025.
Okay. I thought that maybe that was something different, but yeah, so I'm super, super stoked with it. Seeing the webcam, stuff like that. It was just freaking awesome. And hopefully with this next pod that we'll re-record, I will hopefully have an update from whatever I see at the Ace.
Next week might just be hey, Carson, record something for us. And
yeah, maybe. I mean, I'll be like, this, and then I'll be able to see, Six Flags Great America, because it's over there in Chicago area too. So,
And speaking of Six Flags Great America,
like that little segue, right?
Yeah. I thought that's where you were going.
Honestly, that just kind of flowed right through that. I didn't even know that. So
we're in our 4th calendar year of the podcast. So is it? Yeah. 22, 23, 25. So we should be good at this now. Anyways, so the race is very much on between Siren's Curse and Wrath of Rakshasa, to see who opens first. Like it's really neck and neck.
Right.
Because was it today that somebody was it you or somebody on Facebook posted? I think it was that it was somebody from WGN news station in Chicago posted a aerial view of Wrath of Rakshasa. Why do I do this to myself? Why did I tell you guys that I would cover this one? That this ride it's an aerial view of the ride construction. They've been moving super fast since they actually got rolling. It seemed like it was like, what's going on? Then the first support went up and it's been just game on since then. The whole brake run, station area, turn, leaving the station, and then it looks like the entire lift hill besides like the topping off piece is done. It sticks out like a complete sore thumb. It's bright blue and yellow.
It looks so good.
I hope you can somehow see it from your airplane or whatever.
Yes.
Probably not. It depends on how you approach, since Six Flags is north of the city, but
maybe
it's beautiful. But yeah, so there it is, standing at like 200 feet tall or whatever it is, and it's just they just keep moving.
Right.
It's
right.
going quick. This is probably, and I guess I can't really be too mean about Six Flags, but since we're family now, but this is probably the quickest I've seen them move on a coaster once they started construction in a hot minute. So
and once they've joined the Cedar Fair train, and
But then the old Six Flags has bled into Canada's Wonderland. Kyle.
Yeah. So Canada's Wonderland is currently constructing Alpenfury, the Premier Rides launch coaster. It's actually the park's 19th coaster, I believe.
Jeez.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. 18th or 19th or something like that. Fact check.
And up until a few days ago, it is the 19th coaster. The article I'm reading does confirm that.
Wow.
Up until a few days ago, there hadn't really been any movement, and everyone was starting to wonder, I wonder if this thing's going to open next year. But just a few days ago, Wonderland shared a collection of photos of them installing support columns and launch tracks and launch fins, and it seems to be moving at a pretty darn good pace.
So maybe they're all of these three coasters, at least right here, are going to open by, was it Memorial Day? I always get Memorial Day or Labor Day.
Memorial Day is in May. I'm going to go with Mania for Siren, and then by 4th of July for the other two.
Whoa!
I hope you're right about Siren's Curse, because as of now, I'm planning to attend Coaster Mania.
You should always plan to attend Coaster Mania. That's a marquee event.
Well,
it almost killed Kyle last year.
Yeah, the thing is,
especially since you only come like once or twice a year. You got to get all those credits in.
Personally, I'd rather wait until later summer to make my first visit to the park. But
you want the park to be full tilt, all the events rolling.
Yeah, but also I really want to go to the NASCAR race in Michigan this year.
Ooh.
And the NASCAR race in Michigan happens to be on the Sunday of Coaster Mania weekend.
Are you joining us?
Yeah, so Justin called me last week. Justin called me last week, and he was like, "Hey, so do you want this ticket to Michigan?" I was like, "Yeah, I think I do." And he's like, "Okay."
You already flying to Detroit anyways.
Yeah.
So.
He was like, "Okay, well, it's in July this year." And I was like, "Oh, July. Oh, maybe I don't." And then I went and looked it up, and I was like, wait a minute. That's the Sunday of Coaster Mania weekend, so I could go back, go to Coaster Mania, go to NASCAR, and then bail.
Have you ever been?
Oh, yeah.
Michigan?
Yeah, me and my dad used to go every year. We went like 5 years in a row.
It's fun. I like it. It's a good track. So.
But then like a week and a half later, my cousin is getting married back in Ohio. So I will be back for that wedding. So then I would also have a potential to hit it then. And then if it's still not open, then I'll probably make like a late August trip this year.
Okay. Yeah, and you also have to get Top Thrill 2,
Yeah.
hopefully that.
So
with the
originally,
park.
I was gonna bail on Mania because I wanted to go. I'm going to my cousin's wedding, and I was like, oh, I'll just wait and go to the park then. But then when Justin said that the race was the same weekend as Mania, I was like, oh, well, maybe I can do it this year.
Yeah, it actually, because the race used to be, I think the past few years it was in August, but this year they moved it to June, so that's awesome. Well, that's news to me. All right, sweet, like that. That's
A little
breaking
behind
news
the
for me.
scenes about our lives.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, but yeah, so
All right.
I'll say that I think Siren's Curse is going to open up first,
I'm going to say first.
and then
No doubt.
and then I'm going to say Rakshasa is going to
Good job.
open up a week later, and then I think Alpine Fury is going to be by 4th of July. That's what I'm thinking.
I was thinking about Alpine Fury. I'm like, this is so unlike a Cedar Fair park. I know they're not Cedar Fair, whatever. But I was thinking about it. I'm like, that ride, it goes through Wonder Mountain, which it contains 2 rides that were open during Winterfest.
Yep.
In it, like in the mountain. And then also it goes along International Street. And again, the park was open for Winterfest. So, I mean, I know they could have gotten some stuff done during the week, but really how much could they do knowing that in, 4 days, 3 days, 2 days, whatever, there'd be guests in the park. Like you can't tear up International Street. So they were
it'd be very interesting. I mean, they had a lot of construction to do with that. There wasn't just like, okay, we've got a plot of land and let's just build it kind of thing. Like there's a lot that has to go into it. I'm sure that's why maybe it looks like they're behind, but maybe they're right on schedule. I mean, they don't really.
And hopefully maybe winter will kind of get milder because it sure hasn't been yet. And they could really go full steam ahead and open this at some point sooner than later. Anyways, speaking of opening, we got the winter chill out information, which I know that's what everybody's looking forward to. But I'm actually going to do. Let's talk about the events that occur once the park opens first, and then we'll go back to winter chill out because there's more details for winter chill out than there is for everything else. So we know that the park opens on Saturday, May 3rd, and the park's open from 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. They announced that. They also put this little learn more thing, and I'm just going to read it, and y'all could take it for what it's worth. Just, Cedar Point opens for its 156th summer season on Saturday, May 3rd. It's the unofficial start of summer, and your first chance to take on Millennium Force, Steel Vengeance, Kitty Kingdom, delicious fresh cut fries, the mile-long Cedar Point Beach, and the record-breaking Top Thrill 2 triple launch Strata Coaster. So, I don't know. They put that in there for a reason, maybe.
Right.
I don't know.
Who the hell's going to the beach in May?
I mean, at least it's Cedar Point, not me.
I mean, I'm going to walk along the beach on the boardwalk possibly and walk back, but
if the last part of their sentence is true, I will not be outside of the park at all. I will definitely be firmly in the center of the park. Anyways, I don't know. Cedar Point's very deliberate with everything they do ever. So that's all I'm going to say.
I do just a little Top Thrill 2 update per se. They did kind of not really announce, but they released like Fastlane Plus like info or whatever. And at least currently right now, as of January 16th that we're recording on, it doesn't say that it's a limit of, what was it, one ride?
One ride, unless you're at all season.
Right. It doesn't limit that if you buy it for one day, the all season, or I'm sorry, not the all season, but the Fastlane Plus. It doesn't say.
To, reading the tea leaves a little bit more, they are including Top Thrill 2 on this page. I figure they probably took it off last year once it closed. So
right.
I don't know.
So you just have to read the tea leaves and see what happens. I mean, we still don't know anything.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say demand it's open on opening day, or I expect it, but
it still says, just going to the page really quick, it does say that we are anticipating Top Thrill 2 will be open for the 2025 season. Please follow our social media channels for ride updates. And it still said that, I think, from when they announced it or whatever. So just, something just to watch,
It would be so funny if on opening day we show up and it's just running and they're just like, what's the problem?
Yeah.
It's always been running. Why are you so excited? This Siren's Curse is new this year. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
Anyways, we mentioned Coaster Mania. That's always the first Friday in June. There's your details for that. Tickets are not on sale yet, but that is June 6th is the first Friday of June. Light Up the Point comes back this year. 4th of July is a Friday, so that's nice. They are open till 11 that Friday and Saturday and doing fireworks both days. And they mentioned that VIP upgrades will be available.
I just want to caveat in just a little bit. So if anyone can go both days because for instance, like I know Evan, you and I try to go both days because one, we could like hang out and just enjoy the fireworks one day. And then the other day we're like working for, CP rundown. Trying to get content, trying to get photos and things like that, whatever. But like, we kind of like pick and choose. But the thing is like you guys don't have to really worry about that per se, unless you really want to take pictures or whatever. The thing is I was thinking, I was like, it'd be really cool to just be just like a guest and literally just riding some coasters while the fireworks are going on the one day. And then the next day, just celebrate 4th of July and watch the fireworks like normal and stuff. So just a little thing. So.
I tried the 1 year. This was pre-COVID. I mean, I think I only had known you for a year or so because I wasn't even with you. I tried so hard to ride Windseeker during the fireworks, but there was a thunderstorm coming and it was coming fast, but it never ended up really hitting. But the lightning got within range, so they were like, "Hey guys," they came over to the PA. They're like, "We're setting the fireworks off early. All the rides are closed." I'm like, "Oh,
that would have been cool.
That'd been cool."
But
anyways, moving on. I think this is probably the biggest news to me besides Winter Chill Out info, but Boardwalk Nights is coming back. We gushed about this event.
It was a great event. It was.
And it's coming back. It seems like maybe for a week longer, maybe not. I could be wrong. But anyways, it's going to run every day besides Tuesdays, from 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. from July 18th to August 17th.
And Kyle, you got to see Boardwalk Nights, and you thought it was like a huge success, right? And Ray saw it too, right?
Yeah, we did. We stayed at Hotel Breakers on closing night of Boardwalk Nights.
That's great. So you did get to see it just for a minute.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It was a really good event.
I wonder if they're going to add to it, or I don't know if
they don't even need to. Like,
they don't really
the
need
vibes
to.
of the Midway were so nice, and man, it was the epitome of summer.
I wonder if maybe they'll have like different acts or things like that. Maybe they'll come up with something like that.
I guess it depends on what weirdos what sideshow acts they can pull off the street.
Yeah, right. Hey, look at that. I mean, I would love a small little B&M show or B&M bike show or something like they would do.
BMX, not BMX.
Sorry,
B&M.
Sorry, B&M. BMX.
Yeah, they'll figure something out. I don't
like
think
they did with like All Wheels Extreme or something. Do something kind of like that. We don't even know if there's going to be a stage over in the main.
We don't know. We know there's no nighttime show this year.
Unless there is, you don't know.
Well, no, like Luminosity or whatever.
Maybe, anyways. But they've also announced events and shows and things like that later. Well, actually, the shows could be listed on the show page because that's not on there yet. So,
yeah, I don't know, but
sorry.
Nothing that we're used to, I guess we should say. But I don't expect them to copy and paste Boardwalk Nights 2024 into 2025.
It would be.
Anyways, I think we might have already known this, but maybe we didn't talk about it. Maybe we did. I don't know. But Hollow Weekends is the last thing listed here. It's copy and paste from last year. It opens the second, I believe it would be the second Thursday of September. It's September 11th, a Thursday. It runs Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. on Thursdays, 11 a.m. till midnight on Fridays and Saturdays, and 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. on Sundays. And just like last year, closing day is Saturday of Halloween weekend. So you got Friday, the 31st is Halloween. Park's open from 11 to midnight. Then November 1st, the park is open 11 to midnight. Haunt is still going full blast. and then the park closes at midnight for the year, which I loved last year.
Yeah, that was
I
so
loved
nice.
having Sunday to like recuperate and be sad and then go to work on Monday.
Well, that, but also I thought it was nice that the park closed at, like, a closing day was actually at midnight, because I feel like when closing day and it's like an 8 p.m. closing,
You could actually take
you're
your
like
time on closing
trying to
day.
rush around and trying to say hi to everybody, and you're like, I got to get these
An
meals
extra
in, I got to
4
get the
hours
photo, and you're
was-
like, yeah, it was very just like, okay,
Well, yeah, because
chill,
we always do the closing day photo at what, like 4:30, and it's
Yeah.
always like, okay, all right, we got to run now. We got
Yeah.
3 hours.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
then,
for
this
sure.
past year we had plenty of time still. We had almost a full park day yet to go.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that was one of the best things the park did last year, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was good.
All right, so now what everybody's waiting for. We got full details in Winter Chill Out. It is Saturday, February 22nd, 2025.
My birthday.
Always,
Woo woo.
Carson gets to be in an amusement park for his birthday. That's not
I do.
a Florida park.
I do. I'm totally buying a ticket and totally going. Sorry, Evan, you can continue.
For those that don't know, Winter Chill Out is a great behind-the-scenes winter event. Goes completely to charity. Your ticket price, which is $100 this year, the total of that goes to A Kid Again, which is a fantastic organization that helps, as Cedar Points website puts, helps thousands of kids living with life-threatening illnesses. Really, really great organization. So yes, it's $100. It's a steep price, but it's going to a good cause. They serve you lunch. You get behind the scenes access of, normally off limits areas. And of course, you'll see Siren's Curse before anybody else. Tickets are going to be just first come, first serve this year. None of the lottery stuff.
Thank God. Oh, I am so bad. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God I had like friends that got selected that was like, oh, hey, by the way, you can be my +1 because I got 4 tickets. I only needed 3. I'm like, oh, God. Oh,
yeah.
Stressful. So stressful. It'll be stressful when they go on sale, but yeah.
Yes. So what's going to happen on Tuesday, January 21st at 10 a.m. is you're going to want to be on the Winter Chill Out page if you want to go. That is cedarpoint.com/events/winter-chill-out. And there's a button that currently says on sale soon at 10 a.m. on January 21st, Tuesday, January 21st. That on sale soon button is going to change to purchase tickets or buy now or whatever. And you click fast.
That would be this Tuesday, by the way.
Yes.
This Tuesday.
If you're listening to this show within a couple days as it comes out, yes, like a couple days from now. As I said, $100 goes to A Kid Again. All the same typical stuff. They do make mention that there will be multiple restrooms available throughout the park. Just saying. Again, we don't need to get into anything else with that. They also say photography is allowed. It might be last up to 5 hours. It is a walking tour. There's no buses taking you around or anything. And there's hotel packages available.
And no live streaming. So
yes,
don't
live stream.
Don't look for us to do a live stream, which is nice because I mean, it kind of it's like, okay, I didn't have to pay $100 and I can see the whole park kind of thing. So I get the whole no live streaming thing, and stuff. And then also make sure you, I believe you can pick up. Tony, I think, posted on X saying that you get to purchase up to 4 tickets.
Yes,
and you also need to make sure that you want to. It sounds like there's going to be different start times, so make sure whatever time we don't know the times, they're not announced or anything, but make sure that that A, B, C, and D is going to go to the 10 o'clock tour.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even know what time it starts, but yeah, that's just like Evan said, go to the page and check out all the info here, and then also there's some overnight hotel packages and stuff and everything. You can stay at Sawmill Creek, really, really nice hotel just down the street from Cedar Point. It is owned by Cedar Point for $109 or whatever, which is really nice, or you could stay at Cedar Point Express Hotel, which is even closer, for $89, or Castaway Bay for $199. And if you want to purchase that, you got to use the promo code all caps chill. CHILL for that. So
there you go.
Evan, someone brand new doesn't know what Winter Chill Out is. What's one thing for them to expect that they might not know? Besides what you just talked about.
I think the best thing that they've done in recent years for Winter Chill Out is putting a bunch of new merchandise inside of Park Plaza. Is that what it's called now? Yeah, Park Plaza.
Yep.
Bunch of newer merchandise, bunch of exclusive merchandise, maybe exclusive merchandise that will only be available on Winter Chill Out Day, or maybe will be not limited on Winter Chill Out Day, but limited when park opens. That kind of stuff. So be prepared to shop.
They've sold exclusive like Winter Chill Out, T-shirts and stuff, and they have been.
I'm literally wearing the 2022.
You are actually.
It's a long sleeve shirt. It's comfy.
And then you could also sometimes they have like a raffle sometimes, and you can win like coaster wheels or ride parts. I think it's really, really cool to see the park, how it's kind of like asleep, quote unquote, right now, where everything's just really quiet. All you hear is the seagulls flying around, and they're just kind of just looking at you like, what are you doing, kind of thing. And two, it's really cool to see how hard Cedar Point works, and all the amusement parks, obviously, but how hard Cedar Point works to inspect and get the rides completely, do 180 and get them all completely ready to go, buttoned up, and new bolts, new everything, and just breaks everything completely down. And they have to check everything with what is it, like dyes and all kinds of different
X-ray, all that fun stuff.
And so it's not just take the car off, put it back on, and that the park just randomly opens. There's so much that goes into the off season that's not even funny. So
I've always heard from park personnel at Cedar Point and even other parks that the busiest time of year from a theme park operating standpoint isn't the operating season. It's from the day after closing day until the day before opening day is their busiest.
Yeah,
because there's so much work that goes into.
You just got to think
cleaning up the park, but then also fixing it back up.
Yeah, well, you guys
making it nice and spiffy again.
You have to think that you've got to take all of all 18 coaster trains or 18 roller coaster trains that normally have 3 trains each off. So you got to do that, and then you've also got to take all the flat ride, like actual rides off their actual like.
You have 80 rides that you have to take.
Yeah,
not take apart, but because you don't take apart a whole roller coaster, but remove stuff and clean it up.
It's a lot. It's really a lot.
Put it all back together. And this is a team, at least just from the rides department. This is not a big team. It's a few guys and girls that really know what they're doing. That put a lot of work in this.
Dedicated. I love it. I love seeing all that stuff and just being there and just seeing the smiles on their face. And
so that all being said, I'm not going this year.
Yeah. Well, let's just say why you're not going this year.
Because I'm going on a cruise, and I am not going to. I return the day before Winter Chill Out, like late at night, and I am not. There's no way. I am going to be dead.
Fair. So, I mean, I'm just saying, to have a birthday party without Evan at Winter Chill Out. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah, it ain't a party without me.
I mean, but anyway. So I will definitely be there. I can't wait. Hopefully, as long as I get a ticket. And then
I've always had better luck with the quick click.
Well, right.
That's my forte.
Yeah, you're like, not so much. Yes. Kyle, I don't think you're gonna leave the beautiful sunny weather and come up to lovely Ohio and come check out Chill Out.
Not this year. I did it last year, and that's kind of like a once every few years event for me these days.
Fair. You still have that line Skippy, right?
Yeah, but it expired on like Labor Day.
I'm sure.
I think you could get Tony to hook you up, being that the ride wasn't open.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, I won this at Winter Chill Out. Can I use it?
Yeah, I mean, I still have it, but yeah, it's expired.
I love it.
I mean, I'll be flying from Florida to Ohio the day before, like Kyle typically would be, but I'm just not going to the event.
Yeah, you're just not going. That's all good. It's all good.
Oh well.
Well,
that's it for the news.
That is, yeah. So we've got some news at for CP Rundown, I guess you could say. We're getting a brand new logo. I think it's time for us to say goodbye to the current logo that we have. And
was that the original logo?
That is well, there's been a few ones, but this is the one that actually stuck. I think the original logo had like not gatekeeper wings, but had like angel wings or something, and it's CP run on it.
Well, you started right when Gatekeeper was opening, so I guess
Yes.
the kind of the wing thing makes sense.
Right. Yeah. So so we've got someone that's currently working on the logo. And we're keeping all of the elements that are with our logo, but like we're gonna just modernize it. Like
Freshening it up.
Definitely freshening it up. It's still in the process. We got to see like black and white drawings and stuff, and Evan, you got to see it a little bit, and
Yeah,
I
looks
think
good.
I think
like
that
it.
the team was really far on. And one more shout out. Holy crap! First of all, if you need a Cedar Point calendar, with a Cedar Point, Tony has been asked an X, and he said no, they're not doing a Cedar Point calendar this year. So, if you want a Cedar Point only calendar, I don't think there's anybody else out there that are making calendars just specifically to Cedar Point, the park. We still have our calendar for sale. If you want, you'll get it by the beginning of February. If you want to buy one, you can still buy one. cprundown.com/store. Just a little behind the curtain, we have sold over 130 calendars this year, or for this calendar year. I have never. I think we've only sold like 70 or 80 calendars. As a record, and so over 130 calendars. Thank you so much. We don't make hardly any money on this, and whatever money that we do make on it, we just turn it right back into a little behind the curtain. Even more, our web hosting is $15 a month, and our domain's like $20 a year, and then Kyle's got to pay for the podcast, so that's like another $30 or $40 a year or so on top of that. So definitely really appreciate it. Everything that you, like I said, that you put into it, we put it right back into the site. And yeah, so I really appreciate it. You want to buy more calendars? They're there. They're printed on demand. I don't literally touch them. They literally come from our printer direct to you. So really appreciate it. Really, yeah.
I mean, if I do say so myself, this year, every year it gets better. And I think this year, especially mostly thanks to the fans of the page and the podcast, because I think this year has less of our photos and more of others of people that sent them in. I mean, you guys, there's some incredible photos in this calendar, and I'm excited to finally receive mine whenever that might be. The post office screwed that one up, but
yeah, right.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, do we want to quickly go through what we've all been up to? I mean, Kyle is really the one that was up to the most. I've just kind of been going to hockey games and hanging out at home and working my life away. But
I was going to say, I was able to spend New Year's down, in Florida and stuff. And
it's true. I forgot about that.
And then, I did the Universal parks and got to ride like coasters after midnight and stuff. So I've already got some coasters already on the docket for this year and stuff and everything. And, we're planning boys trip and stuff. I think it's going to be an international, international journey, which will be really cool. Hopefully
they let us open Alpen Fury, guys.
Hopefully they let us over the border, because there'd be
we're a pretty ragtag group of people.
A blue van full of like 9 guys. They'd be like, "All right, guys, what are you really doing?" "No, we're going to ride coasters." Like, yeah.
Alpen Fury.
No, we want to go to Canada's Wonderland and ride Alpen Fury. They're like, "What's that?" Like, it's the new coast.
But coasters in the United States.
And then obviously I'm going to be doing Winter Chill Out, and then this coming Saturday or today, whatever day you're listening to this, I will be in Chicago for an ACE event and stuff and everything. But that's pretty much all I have. Kyle, do you have anything fun that I got to see, like you posting on your social media that you got to like hang out with some penguins?
Yeah. Well, that was yesterday, so we'll go back. Right after,
I want to hear about Hollywood.
Yeah, right after Christmas, me and Ray traveled to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and Gatlinburg, and we met my family and stayed in a cabin for a few days.
Yes.
On the way there, we stopped at Fun Spot Atlanta. We were one of.
Finally have all your Fun Spot credits.
Yeah, finally have all of Fun Spot credits. We were one of 6 cars in the parking lot on December 26th at about 10:15 in the morning.
Nice.
Is it Airy Force One? Ari Force One?
I think it's
RE Force One. I
Ari
believe.
Is it
Force
Ari?
One?
Oh,
Well,
I don't
whatever it
know.
is.
Whatever. It's not Air Force One. I know that much.
Whatever it is, that ride is insane.
Yes.
yeah. Would you say it's like the best RMC that you've ridden?
I don't think it's the best RMC that I've ridden, but it's the best of like the kind of smaller tier RMCs, like your Storm Chasers, your
The Timbers.
yeah. What's the one at Great America? Goliath, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you? Hey, Evan, since you wrote it, would you say it's better than Wildcat at
No.
Hershey?
No.
Yeah, no.
I would put. I mean, you guys know I'm a huge Wildcat fan. That's probably my number one. But then like Iron Gwazi, Vengeance, Zadra, and then RE
Okay.
Force One.
Okay, because I've always have FOMO, and the pictures that I got to see from Kyle, I'm like, oh, I really want to ride it.
You've ridden Iron Gwazi and Wildcat. You're good.
Yeah. I've never seen a POV of this thing. So, first of all, we were driving up and I was like, man, this is so weird. We're like 4 minutes away and I can't see anything. Like, this is weird. The only other time I've experienced this is when like we went to Michigan's Adventure, and neither of you two are with me, but I was with Jared and Cameron. And it
Was
like,
that the Speedway incident?
Yes, that was that
Okay.
trip.
Anybody wants to know the Speedway incident? We're not going to share it on the pod. If you see Kyle in the park, ask that question.
Yeah.
And he
And then randomly me and Ray were just driving, and I was like, oh, there it is. And it was just like just sticking out on the road, like right there.
Really?
Yeah. It's like
Wow.
It really does come out of nowhere.
the lift hill is like parallel to a 2-lane highway. It's like 50 feet away.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we get there. Like I said, one of about 6 cars in the parking lot. They actually had parking tolls, which I thought was weird because none of the other the fun spots charged to park.
They didn't have that a year ago when I was there.
Well, they had parking tolls, and they had a sign listed that said parking was $15, and then they just had a sign in the window that said parking is free today.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. That might have been what it was.
Wow.
So I don't know if parking is always free. I don't know. So I already had my my fun spot pass, and I was all good there. They had security at this park, which they don't have security at my local fun spot park in Kissimmee. So that was interesting.
They did not have security for us when we were.
Were those part of the 1 of 6 there?
Yeah. I mean, no, like Evan, they had like legit security, like metal detectors, bag checks, everything.
Yeah,
Wow.
we didn't
Yeah.
have that. We had to get somebody's attention just to buy our tickets.
Yeah,
Oh.
no. I walked up, there was someone at the ticket booth. I didn't have to buy tickets, but there was someone there.
Okay.
There were people at security. Most of the rides had people at them. There were people in the food stands and the arcades.
Okay.
It was funny too because Air Force One, you walk in the park and then it's all the way in the back left corner of the park. So you have to pass like everything else to get to it. And everyone was like, "Hey, come ride this. You know you want to ride this. We're open." Like trying to
It's
get
like
me
a kiddie ride.
yeah, like trying to get me to get on their rides. And I was like, "No, no, thank you."
I'm good. Thanks.
So I did 4 rides. Well, going back, I've never seen a POV of this thing. So
Yeah.
obviously I could see the front half of the ride where you go down the big drop and then you have the stall. But I didn't really know anything past that existed. So everything past that was just kind of like a fun little surprise for me on my first ride.
Mm-hmm.
And it was insane. That stall is insane. The second half is insane.
Those 2 barrel rolls.
The
towards
2 barrel
end.
rolls.
What in the world?
I even rode it on a pretty cold day when it was running kind of slow, and it was still insane.
Wow.
I rode
Wow.
all of my rides were Zen rides. There was nobody else on the train. I rode once in the front right, once in the front left, once in the back right, once in the back left.
4
Okay.
corners.
Yep, 4 corners.
So isn't there? I thought there was like some guy or some kid or something that like rides that coaster like religiously.
There
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 is.
is. They
is.
said-
There is.
There
I
is,
saw him.
but he was not
Okay.
there when I was
he
there.
wasn't there.
No.
Okay, all right. Don't let him know that you rode it without him.
And it was we kept pulling in the station. I go, "Can I just stay on? Can I just stay on?" Yeah, go ahead. So
Because you're the only one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
and the ride was only running 1 train. which obviously I wouldn't expect it to run 2 on a day like that. But it was weird because we'd hit the brake run, but then the ride was still programmed like it was running 2. So we'd hit the brake run, we'd pull into the holding brakes, and we'd stop for like 10 seconds.
And wait for the ride ops to realize.
And
that
wait for the ride
sat.
ops to hit the advance button, and then we pull into the station. But since it was so cold, we were moving so slow. Like, from hitting the brake run to pulling back into the station was probably like the entire length of the ride, if that makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how it was for me too, because we were there on like December 28th or something like that. It was like 50 degrees out, if not colder. But I wish I had ridden it in the warm weather. I think my opinion might even be better of it.
The queue,
I love that.
really cool. A lot of
it's themed.
Fun little Easter eggs. The decals on the train, really cool. The train, pretty solid.
Nice.
All in all, it is a super, super, super solid ride. I mean, that ride is better than most other parks' top tier ride. I mean, maybe not most other parks, but a lot of other parks' top tier rides. The fact that it ended up at Fun Spot Atlanta of all places just boggles my mind.
It blows my mind too that you got Six Flags Over Georgia like 30 minutes away or whatever, which I've been to twice, once last year and then in like 2018 or 2019. That's a great park. A lot of really good coasters. Air Force One clears all of them. They just plopped down this ride at a little FEC and it just beat every coaster at Six Flags.
Jeez. Wow.
So
you guys know I'm big into like stickers. I really wanted to try to find a sticker to add to my cooler, but I couldn't even find a gift shop, honestly.
It's in the arcade.
Okay. I did not go in there, so that's probably why.
Dang.
Yeah, it's like part of the prize counter.
Yeah. So it was for me. It was miserably cold, and Ray did not want to ride, so I left her in the car, and she just played on her phone in the warm.
For 20 minutes while you were in there riding it 4 times.
But then
like, woohoo! Keep going by her every single time you ride the ride.
Yeah.
Hey!
So after I got my 4 rides, since she was in the car and we still had about 4 hours to go to Dollywood, I didn't feel the need to explore the park or walk around at all. I literally popped in, rode it 4 times, went to the bathroom, and then got back in the car.
It was a rest stop.
Yeah, like a little stretch my legs and get a little snack or something, go to the bathroom, ride a ride, and
that particular stop was quicker than a few of the Buc-ee's stops on that trip.
That's awesome.
I'm not even going to say what I want to say about Buc-ee's.
Yeah. So then that was a fun little pit stop. Then we got back in the car and we kept driving to our cabin in Pigeon Forge. Cabin was awesome. We had a 2-story cabin, so you walked in on the main floor, and there was a living room, a kitchen, a bedroom, and then there was a deck with a hot tub, and then the second floor had another bedroom, another bathroom, another loft, or a loft. It's a really nice cabin. And then the next day, we went to Dollywood. My whole family went this day. So my mom, my dad, my brother, Ray, we all went. And it was my mom and my brother's first time ever at Dollywood. Me and my dad had been there the year that Lightning Rod opened. And then I'd been back like 2 or 3 more times since then, but it had been a few years since I was there. I hadn't actually been there since December of 2020, if that puts into perspective.
Okay.
So I guess we'll just start running through the coasters, honestly. We got there. Well, so we got there, and then we bought the Time Saver Pass, all of us, because we were expecting it to be very busy. And it was busy, but it wasn't insane.
Crazy busy.
It was busy, but it wasn't insane. But we all bought Time Savers, mainly because the Time Savers work at the shows for reserved seating.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So we saw a couple shows, and Dollywood Christmas shows are just they're the best. I mean, that park does live entertainment better than any other park, I feel like. And their Christmas shows are just top notch. I mean, they're the best of the best. So we had a really good time with that. We didn't eat anywhere at Dollywood that day. Did not eat anywhere.
You
Wow.
didn't eat at Dollywood. What is wrong
We
with
got
you?
so we got cinnamon bread. We waited like a half hour for cinnamon bread.
Time saver on that.
Well, I was a little pissy, honestly. The last time I went to Dollywood, you walked in the grist mill, you bought your cinnamon bread, and you left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This time, we walk up to the grist mill, and I'm expecting like a long line. And I'm like, there is no line to get into the grist mill. None whatsoever. Awesome. So we go in. I walk up to the counter. I'm like, hey, two loaves of cinnamon bread, please. And he's like, oh, you don't buy them here. You buy them at a stand outside, and then you come in here and pick them up.
Oh.
What?
Yeah. And I was like, okay, that's new since the last time I've been here, but whatever. So I
It's
go
like
out.
COVID-esque.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, even the last
Okay.
time I went there, we were in face masks. It was COVID, and that wasn't like that. You still went inside
Yeah.
and bought it.
Huh.
But whatever.
huh. Okay.
Go outside, ask the nearest, I don't even know what they call themselves, team member, whatever. Hey, where's the line for the cinnamon bread? And she points to this mass of about 400 people just all lined up miserably down a sidewalk. And I was like, yeah, that's about right. That's what I was expecting. So
That's
waited.
fun.
You got to wait in line for cinnamon bread. It was so good. And then I'm trying to run through things that we did as a family before I go into the coasters. We did the train, the Dollywood Express.
Always fun.
Love the train.
Yeah. So I know this is a Christmas thing because honestly, at this point, a majority of my trips to Dollywood have been during Christmas. Is it always like that where you have to show up to the train like 40 minutes ahead of time and they only run it once an hour?
Yes.
Yes.
It's always like that? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was expecting that. I knew it was going to be like that, but my family didn't. So I kept trying to like prepare them and tell them like, guys, if you want to do the train,
Better get a move on.
yeah, I was
come
like,
on.
I'm pretty sure it only runs once an hour. So like, we got to go.
Yeah.
Awesome train ride. Music on the train, way too loud. Entirely too loud. Loud enough to the point that the speakers were crackling and the metal was
Oh.
vibrating.
Oh.
awesome.
Okay.
That's
Way,
That's totally not migraine inducing.
no, way too loud. Actual train, my brother loves trains. The Cedar Point Railroad is like his favorite thing ever. Awesome. Super cool. Music was
Yeah,
too loud.
Dollywood is just so fun.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that's it for everything that all of us did together. We were
Did you guys eat at Aunt Granny's at all?
no, we were going
Oh.
to, and they were like, it's gonna be about a 45-minute wait, and we said, okay, that's not bad. It's like the week after Christmas. Let's put our name in, and we put our name in, and then we decided that we wanted to go do the train, and we're like, well, maybe we'll get lucky and we'll have time to ride the train and come back before our name gets called. No, our name got called and we were on the train.
Dang.
And
They
at,
wouldn't let you in?
and at that point, we were like, well, we had cinnamon bread. We're probably fine to wait until we leave the park and
Yeah.
just get something on the way home.
Fair.
Yeah, fair enough.
So we
Yeah.
did not. Yeah, we all hung out together all day, but we didn't necessarily all do the same things all day. Like we didn't ride everything together. We didn't do everything together, but we were together the same day or all day. So starting with rides, the very first thing we rode was Thunderhead.
Oh, yes.
Love Thunderhead.
So good.
When I took Ray to Kings Island this summer, her favorite ride was Mystic Timbers.
Makes
So
sense.
I was like, you know what? If I
yes.
know she's a GCI girl, let's go ahead and just start on Thunderhead. Like let's do it. Let's get it done with. So good.
Yep.
Last time
my guy was running phenomenally for CoasterCon a couple years ago.
Well, the last time I rode it in 2020 was after it got its big retrack, and it was running great then.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's still running great.
Yeah, and I kept telling her, I was like, you know, the last time I rode this, it was awesome. That was 5 years ago. I hope it's still good, but I don't know. We're gonna find out together. Insane. It was really, really, really good.
Good.
Second thing we rode was, oh God, I'm looking at the roller coasters list. Second thing we rode was I rode Mystery Mine. No one else rode Mystery Mine.
Nah.
Yeah.
I want to like that ride so much. but it just sucks. It hurts.
The beginning of the ride, when you're in the building, super cool. The end of the ride with the drop,
theming's great.
yeah. The end of the ride with the effects and the drop and the stall is super good. But that middle part, when you're just outside,
just doing nothing, just kind of like meandering and slamming your head. I hate that ride. I'm sorry.
So that was a one and done for me. I only rode that one time on the entire trip. Mm-hmm. Next up was Fire Chaser Express, and
I like that ride.
Yeah, we loved Fire Chaser Express. Definitely was the most painfully slow line that we were in. Because the time saver pass that we purchased did not have. I'm sorry. It did have. I'm trying to remember. Their time saver program is really weird.
That's all right. Just move on.
Whatever.
No,
you could forget the
good.
details.
We had time
you
saver.
Fire Chaser.
We had time saver. We could only ride Fire Chaser once with our time saver.
Okay.
Only one on Fire Chaser. And that was, even with time saver, that was the most painfully slow line of the day.
It's a slow, yeah.
It just loads slow.
And I'm sure they weren't running 3 or 4 trains like they could in the summer. I'm sure it was 2 max, right?
No, they were running 3. It was just...
Jesus. Okay, Dollywood.
It was just the guests weren't in a hurry.
And a lot of families ride that ride with smaller kids, and I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, it's a fun ride.
Yeah, it was a fun, but since we only had one time on it, that was also a one and done for the day.
Yeah.
Next up was Tennessee Tornado. This was another just me.
Oh God, that's such a good ride.
I love Tennessee Tornado.
Such a good coaster.
The best aero looper.
Agreed.
They were
so smooth.
They were only running one train, so that was a little.
I don't think they ever run 2.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of a slow line, but it's worth it.
So
best aero looper. All right.
Agree.
Let's see here. Dragon Flyer. Awesome. So much fun.
Yep.
Yeah, that's that kidsy kind of roller coaster.
It's the family Vekoma invert.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So a few months ago,
taking over the world.
Yeah, a few months ago when we were at Busch Gardens and we rode Phoenix Rising, me and Ray loved it. So I was like, "Hey, this is gonna be like Phoenix Rising, but probably even better." And loved it. It's worth pointing out that nothing at this park was new to me except Big Bear Mountain.
Oh,
but
I'm going to take it. That's where you went next.
I'm actually no, because
Okay.
the time saver that we had did not include Big Bear Mountain. At all.
Okay.
The only time saver that included Big Bear Mountain was like the ultimate $99 one. And I was like, you know what? We'll suck it up and wait in line, but not right now. Lightning Rod.
Yeah. What'd you think?
Not good. Not good.
No.
Two-parter. First ride, awful. Not good. Rode in like row 6.
Rough.
Jackhammery, rough. Still fast, but
you feel every seam in the track.
Everything.
Yeah. Yes.
Not great. The last
Carson,
time.
Dunk.
Yes.
So I've been on Lightning Rod 1.0 before. I rode it the year it opened. I rode it in 2019. I've been on it. Great ride. Top of the list. The last time I was at Dollywood was in 2020 when the ride was in pieces because they were converting some of it to topper track or whatever they were doing. Steel, yeah.
Yep.
Wanted to love it, went in with the same excitement that I always do, was super disappointed. Rode it, and that was in like row 5 or something like that. Rode it again later in the day, row 9, much better experience, but still, pretty smooth, but still a little rougher than it should be.
Yeah, for sure.
So that first ride on it was so disappointing. I got off of it, and I was like, God, I kind of wish they would have just taken the whole damn thing out and put something else there.
That coaster.
Or just convert it to all steel and get new trains and just make it right.
Right. Convert, actually just spend the money because everybody's going to love it and people are going to ride it. So why don't you just
Quit with the wooden coaster gimmick. It's done. It doesn't
Right.
work
I
with that, right?
I'm looking on the Dollywood website right now to make sure I don't miss anything, and Wild Eagle is not listed on the website at all.
interesting?
Well, it's still there, right?
I wrote it. I know it's still there.
That's a good ride.
It's fun.
It's
It's
fine.
just like Gatekeeper. It's fun.
Yeah, Wild
Keep
Eagle, really, really enjoyed it. Rode both sides just because there wasn't, I had time savers, so there wasn't a super long line. A lot of fun. Really liked that ride. Drop line, we did the drop tower. That was super cool.
That's so fun.
That's a fun drop tower.
Such good views. I can't imagine
Yes.
riding that at night during their Christmas event.
I did ride it at
Oh,
night during
yeah.
their Christmas event. It was cold.
Is it what I imagine?
It was cold.
Cold for you or cold for normal people?
Cold for everybody. There was a dude sitting next to me wearing a Tennessee t-shirt, and he was in like 4 layers.
Wow. All right.
I did ride it a few times. I rode it once during the day as well.
It's a good drop ride.
Yeah, it is. Pretty big disappointment of the trip. Blazing Fury was closed and removed from the website. Definitely did not know that, and was definitely talking it up to Ray and my mom and Connor. Walk up to it to be greeted by an A-frame that says this ride is closed with no other information.
Been closed.
Kind of put a bad taste in my mouth, honestly.
Yeah, we were kind of like half planning going to Dollywood like mid to early December, or maybe even like end of November. And at the time, Big Bear Mountain was closed for unknown reasons, and we knew Blazing Fury had been closed for unknown reasons. We're like, no, we'll save the money and go another time because.
Honestly
open for you.
That really, really put a bad taste in my mouth, especially with how forgiving and how understanding everybody was with Lightning Rod. But that was a two-way street because the park was transparent with its guests for all like 4 years or whatever. But just to have nothing on Blazing Fury, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, honestly.
Not even like we're not even like we're closed for an extended refurbishment. Just we're closed.
Yeah. Just a A-frame in front of the entrance that said ride closed, but nowhere on the park map was it listed. Nowhere on the app was it listed. Nowhere. There wasn't even like a sign at the front gate that said Blazing Fury.
That sounds like
closed.
a random visitor that visited, Cedar Point when Top Thrill Dragster was sitting there and just had a sign that said it was closed and nothing else was there.
In Cedar Point's defense, this year you couldn't get near the park without seeing.
Oh yeah, with the 700 signs. Yeah.
So they made sure you knew.
Yeah.
Where clearly Hollywood did not.
Yeah, Dollywood's meh. No one's gonna miss it. It'll be all right.
Do you guys know over by Mystery Mine that little ride called Lumberjack Lifts that has like the rope that you pull yourself up on? Oh my god.
Yes.
We put my brother on that. He had the time of his life.
It's so much fun. You want to describe it, Kyle?
So you sit down in a seat and you have a lap bar and a rope in front of you, and you pull on the rope and you pull yourself up to the top of a little tower and then let go, and then you just kind of bounce down.
Yep.
Super fun.
This is a fun
It's
little.
definitely for kids, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun to have races because everybody can get on it.
I'm tired when I get off of that thing.
Oh yeah, exhausted because you go all the way up and then you go all the way up, all the way down, all the way up.
The whole time we were driving to the park, Ray kept asking me, "What are you excited about? What should I be excited about? What do we have to do?" And the whole time I kept trying to explain to her what Black Bear Trail was. Do either of you guys know what Black Bear Trail is?
Okay.
So it's essentially it's essentially almost, for lack of a better term, kind of like a monorail almost, but you're sitting on a bear and just like bouncing through this track.
It's so fun.
Yeah,
It's
that
so
was super
so
cute,
fun.
super fun. Wildwood Grove as a whole, I really, really, really like that area. It's so well done.
Nice, yeah, it's really nice. The drone show that we got to see over there for CoasterCon, that was really, really cool.
All right, I think the only other thing I'm missing is Big Bear Mountain.
Yeah,
I think so.
best for last.
Absolute home run. My new favorite ride at Dollywood. So good.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe
coaster.
not my new favorite ride, but that thing is one of these. First of all, it is one of the smoothest coasters I've ever been on, ever.
Yes.
Anywhere.
Yes.
The onboard audio kind of makes it feel like a little Hagrid's, like a mountain Hagrid's.
Yeah.
Bear right. No, bear left.
Very, very fast and whippy. A little tall for a family ride. The launches pack a good punch.
Yep.
Every time I thought it was over, it just kept going. Like,
Yep.
absolute home run. I want every single park to build one of these.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Don't you wish Penguin Trek was a Vekoma launch now?
I do. I really do. Both me and Ray got off the brake run. And mind you, we waited 70 minutes for this thing. 70.
Oof.
70.
Ooh,
Wow.
okay.
We both hit the brake run. We said, that was so good. Let's get right back in line and do it again.
Wow.
That's
You waited
awesome.
another 70 minutes.
Well,
I love it.
That is like the best metric of how good was this ride.
Yeah.
If you're willing to wait 70 minutes twice in a row,
Yep.
that says all you need to say.
We got off the ride. We went and we got a drink, and then we got right back in line. We loved it. It
That's
was so
awesome.
much fun. The theming
Yep.
is so cute. The ride vehicles are so cute. The ride is fun. It's genuinely fun. Like, some of these family rides you ride, you're like, oh yeah, that's cool. That's great for kids. Wasn't my thing, but it's great for kids. No, this is great for everybody.
Yeah.
Big Bear Mountain is, to me, like exactly what I've been looking for in coasters as I've kind of gotten out of the like twitchy teenager phase and just more like I'm looking for rides that I think are fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be the biggest. It doesn't need to be the fastest. Granted, Millennium Force is one of the biggest and fastest, but it's not the most thrilling ride. Crazy, balls to the wall. It's just fun. Big Bear Mountain is just fun. Hagrid's is just fun. You know, it doesn't need to be these nutso, 600 inversions, 400 miles an hour. They just got to be fun rides. Fun and smooth and re-rideable.
It was
That's
so
what
good.
I like.
It is Ray's new #1 ride ever. She loves it that much.
I will not judge her for that.
She loves
love
it that
that.
much, and it is definitely on my list of top favorite rides. So good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
That was Maya's 100th credit.
so that was
nice.
that was kind of it for Dollywood, and at the time, we thought that was it for Dollywood. We did not think we were going back. We only bought 1 day's worth of tickets, and we were not planning on going again. Because we had other things that we wanted to do in Gatlinburg. So I'll get more into that later. So that was a full day, Dollywood, right there. The next day, we started the morning with breakfast at Paula Dean's at the Island.
Oh, yeah.
That was as good as always. And then we went and did a moonshine tasting at Old Smoky right there at the Island.
Nice.
Bought
Good.
way more moonshine than I intended. Between me and my dad, we bought 15 jars.
Oh my god!
I think on your
take it
Snapchat, you sent me a Snapchat of you like rolling a cooler or something.
Yeah,
I'm
we
like,
got
oh,
enough
really?
that they gave us a wheeled cooler to haul all the moonshine away in.
That's awesome.
And then when we were at the Island, when I was at the Island, I did the Skyfly, which is the flying theater.
Okay.
Really, really, really good. Kind of a steep price, not gonna lie. It was like $26. So it wasn't
Okay.
cheap. But
Okay.
I've never even been to the island as many times as I've been to Pigeon Forge.
oh,
but
the Island's so much fun. It's one of my favorite spots to hang out in town.
it gives like City Walk vibes, but
Yeah.
mountain.
City Walk
Yeah.
with Mountain.
Yeah.
But the new flying theater, so the whole theme of it is like steampunk flying machine turn of the century kind of deal.
Okay.
And then you soar over a bunch of different places in the United States. A bunch of different landmarks, a bunch of different notable places. It was really, really good. It has a bunch of different range of motion. So not only does it tilt left and right, it tilts left, it tilts right, it tilts forward, it tilts back, it moves up, it moves down. So the range of motion on this thing is insane. And then they also have scent effects. So like if you're flying over the ocean, you'll smell ocean. If you're flying over a farm, you'll smell fruit, that sort of thing.
I'm glad it's fruit, not what farms usually smell like.
They also have like mist effects. So like you'll get like misted. So that's pretty cool.
Wow. All right.
So this is like a Disney or Universal level attraction.
This is a Disney or Universal level attraction just plopped down on the strip in Pigeon Forge.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
At
Well,
the
so is the Jungle Cruise ride.
we
but,
did not
you know,
even we didn't even go to that.
or Jurassic River Adventure, or whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
right.
I
Jesus.
think I would struggle to pay the price point again, but for one time on it, I was happy to pay it, and I was really glad that I did.
It makes me want to try it once. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Makes me a lot more excited for the Flying Theater that SeaWorld's getting next year. I'll tell you that much.
Is it the same?
Same company but different.
brand?
Same company but different model.
Okay.
Well, they've proven they could do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
And then after that, we went to Gatlinburg. We didn't really do anything that would be notable to talk about on this podcast in Gatlinburg. Did more moonshine, got some lunch, just kind of meandered around. That night, me and Ray went and did the Goats on the Roof mountain coaster.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Both loved it. I actually
Did she ride by herself, or did she ride with you?
No, we both rode by ourselves. I actually had to get a little bitchy at the end because we went all the way up the mountain. We got halfway down, and there was one old lady that stopped.
Oh my god.
And you know when someone stops, that every single other person behind them stops, and then it's just stop and go the whole way down.
Yep.
That's so annoying.
So
Get off the ride.
Yeah. So we got off, and I was pissed. I was like, God damn it! I'm so mad.
It's
like, we
$25 to ride these
Yeah,
things.
I mean, it wasn't quite that much because they give you a break if you buy two, but like probably $40
Still.
for both of us.
Yeah.
You should have asked. You'd be like, "Hey, can I get a rerun?"
Well, I did. So I looked at Ray and I was like, "Do you want to ride again, or are you good?" And she's like, "No, I don't need to do it again." Because like we still got periods of fast, but
Yeah.
it just ruined.
Yeah, no,
it ruined my
that's
ride.
not what you paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Do you need to do it again?" And she's like, "No, I don't need to do it again." I was like, "Great, I'm gonna go ride it again." So after said woman got off the ride and was clear from the area, I went up to the operator at Unload. I was like, "Hey, not to be that guy, but she stopped and everybody behind her stopped and it ruined my ride. Can I go again?" He's like, yeah, here. And he opened up his little like fanny pack and just gave me another ticket.
Nice.
Okay, that's good.
Oh,
And
that's
he's
cool.
like-
That's cool.
And there was
I feel like that happens often.
yeah, there was probably about like 20 people in line or so it wasn't like a get right on thing. And he was like, "Don't even wait in line, just walk right up and just tell him and we'll put you back on."
Okay.
I did it again. That ride, it was great. Super fast.
It's fun. That's a fun one too.
They
I like that.
also
Was
had-
one of my favorites.
They also had Christmas decorations up on the mountain and like Christmas music, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Overall, I've done a lot of the mountain coasters in town. I think that one's my favorite.
I think
I like
yeah.
Smoky Mountain still, the original.
Yeah, I don't know. I like this one better than that, but I haven't been on like the ones at Anakista or Uber.
Yeah, I haven't done
haven't
that
done
Well, they're
those.
opening a new one. Isn't there one that's like a racing one or something?
That
Yeah,
one
they're
is
building
open,
that one.
or it might not be open, but there is like a single rail one that's open that looked pretty cool. But
Okay.
Gatlinburg was literally the busiest I have ever seen that place ever.
Wow.
I'm talking
I
like
can't imagine going down there when
Yeah.
it's that busy.
I'm talking to get from Pigeon Forge to Gatlinburg and find a parking spot and park took about an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I needed to hear to not go down there.
And
Wow.
the
Okay.
crowds on the streets were like Manhattan, New York City level crowds.
Wow.
Was the Parkway in Pigeon Forge just like impassable too?
No, Pigeon Forge was fine. This was a Gatlinburg
So
only
Why
problem.
was Gatlinburg so bad?
Don't know. We wanted to go up to Anakista, but I'm not even shitting you. There was about 800 people in line for that
no,
chair lift, and
thank
we were
you.
like, nope,
Yep.
not doing it. We'll go get lunch. Anyway, so this is now Saturday. So we got into town on Thursday night, did Christmas, went to Dollywood Friday, putzed around on Saturday. So this is now Saturday night. So go home, get dinner, whatever. We're trying to decide what we're gonna do the next day. And Ray is like, "Well, I want to go to the Alcatraz East Crime Museum." I went there.
Okay.
I went there a long time ago. My mom went there. She loves it. I want to do that. And the cabin that we stayed in had free tickets for us for area attractions.
Okay.
It was
cool.
only
Nice.
one person in the cabin, but one person got unlimited free tickets to pretty much anything in town.
Okay.
So like the day that we went to Dollywood, I did not buy a Dollywood ticket.
That's nice.
Nice. All right.
So we woke up in the morning. We did Alcatraz East. We went to this and that was pretty cool. We spent 2 hours there. We did this big Christmas village, and then we got lunch. And I looked down at my watch, and it was 11:45.
You're like, what do we do now?
I was like, well, we're kind of out of things that we all want to do together. I know what I want to do, and it's go back to Dollywood. And Ray was like, nah, it's cold. I don't think I'm going to go. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, but I'm going. And she's like, okay. She's like, all right, yeah, I'll just stay here. I'll get in the hot tub or something. I'll figure something out. And I was like, okay, I'm leaving. And she's like, wait a minute. Wait, I want to go. I want to go with you.
There you go.
I was like, all right, yeah.
She thought of Big Bear Mountain.
Yeah.
She's like, no.
I was like, so we're going back to Dollywood. So that little thing where I said one of us gets free tickets, but the other one has to pay. I opened the website on both of our phones at the exact same time and hit the place order button at the exact same time, and it spit out 2 tickets.
Jesus.
So we got to go to Dollywood for free.
Nice.
We did have to pay
Nice.
for parking, but we had to go to Dollywood for free.
That's awesome.
So here's the deal with this trip to Dollywood. Q Times, the website that you use, Evan, predicted a 92% crowd capacity.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
This is the Sunday after Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
We pull up to the park.
Oh, I remember this.
And we park in row A.
Right by the park.
Right by the parking lot.
Oh.
Right by the park.
Okay.
To the point where we could walk.
Oh.
And I was like...
Was there bad weather? Was there...
It had been raining in the morning.
Okay.
We get into Dollywood, and there was nobody there.
Okay.
Oh my God. And everything was open.
It was great. There was nobody there. It was actually kind of warm. Everything was open.
Okay.
We did everything we wanted. We rode things. We ate. I mean, we did everything. We rode Big Bear 3 times.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
I got another lap or 2 on all the coasters. We did Thunderhead again. We did Fire Chaser Express again. We didn't see any more shows, but
this is when I remember them. Dollywood literally posting on the social media saying, "Hey, go to Pigeon Forge or go to somewhere else because we're way over capacity.
So,
we don't.
You know
have
what
room
day?
for you."
So we went to the park on Sunday. You know what day that happened, Karsten?
Was that Saturday?
Monday.
Oh,
the day after, because
So
nobody.
all the people that didn't go on Sunday because it rained, we'll go
on
tomorrow.
Monday. Yep.
Wow.
So needless to say,
you lucked out.
Yeah.
I used all of my theme park luck for the year already this year. Because
No, that was in 2024 still.
you're right. I used it all up
right.
because I got 6 hours at Dollywood with the longest line in the park being 10 minutes.
Oh my
Wow.
God, especially in a park with Fire Chaser Express, which
Oh,
low capacity, and,
Yep.
and Dragon Flyer, which only runs 1 train.
Yep.
That's impressive.
that's a fun. Yeah.
Longest line of the day was Big Bear at 10 minutes the first time we rode it.
Wow. Wow. Well, good. I'm
jealous.
glad you had a good time.
Yeah, so that kind of wraps up the trip. And then the next day we got up and we started heading home. I wanted to go to Six Flags Over Georgia. Six Flags Over Georgia did not open for the day. Get a load of these hours. You want to know? You want to guess what the hours were? So this is
I have a disadvantage because I was there around the same time last year.
okay. So this was Monday, This was Monday the 30th. Monday the 30th. Do you want to guess, Evan?
3 to 9.
2 to 6.
That's even worse.
2 to 6.
2 to
That's like-
6.
That's like getting up and going to work at 8 a.m. and then going home at
Noon.
I don't know 11. Okay, I'm done for the day.
2 p.m.
What?
2 p.m. to 6 p.m. So
Why were they open till 6?
I don't know. We got in the car and I was all excited. I was like, ooh, I've never been to Over Georgia. I was like, new park for me today. New park. So we get to the Buc-ee's outside of Atlanta and we stop and we get breakfast and then we get in the car. And I go, all right, I'm going to punch in the GPS, Six Flags Over Georgia. And Google says this park will not, it basically showed
Your destination closes soon after arrival or something like that.
No. This was about 10 in the morning, Evan. We left Pigeon Forge at 7.
Okay.
So then about 10 a.m. rolls around and I'm punching in Over Georgia and I see it just says closed, and I click on the hours on Google Maps, and it says 2 to 6. I was like, no way this is accurate. And I go on the Six Flags app, and sure enough, 2 to 6.
And you didn't want to just hang around Atlanta for
Yeah, it was
4
10.
hours
It was
waiting
10
for the
a.m.
park.
I was like, no way, no way.
Jeez.
Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. I wanted to. Ray was unwilling to sit around for 4 hours.
Fair.
So I was like,
I bet you that park was dead though for those hours.
yeah. I was like,
Yeah, but like, what the hell's the point? And like,
yeah.
not everything's open.
Yeah,
Goliath's getting repainted, which normally would be open.
Why even be open at that point? So, I don't know.
That's
Well,
dumb.
So then,
When I was there last year, granted, we were only there for like a couple hours just as a stop in because we were trying to get to Florida. But the park opened at like 2 or 3. But it was a holiday in the park. It was open till like 9 or 10 o'clock
Yeah.
because Christmas lights. Hello.
all this was gonna be was just stop in for a couple hours. I have the Six Flags pass. Let's just stretch our legs,
Yeah.
get some new credits. I've never been there. She's never been there, but whatever. So that didn't happen.
That's a good park too.
That didn't
normally.
happen. And then I was like, oh well, no, you know what? I don't really want to go back to Fun Spot.
They probably opened at 10, right?
Yeah, they did. They did.
Like a normal park, like a normal amusement park.
Yeah.
They're probably charging for parking that day.
So I was like, you know what? Let's just keep driving, and maybe we'll do like the Georgia Aquarium or something. And so we kept driving.
Stop at Peach World.
Stop where?
Georgia Peach World.
No.
That might be too far north. I don't remember where that
Anyway,
was.
we just got in the car and kept driving, and then eventually I was like, you know what? Let's just go home. Like, we've been gone since Thursday. It's now Monday. Like, tomorrow's New Year's Eve. Like, let's just go home and relax. And we get to about Valdosta, whatever, and I see a billboard for Wild Adventures. I was like, boom.
You did not.
I was like, boom. That's where we're gonna go. Wild Adventures. Let's do it. And
It's right off the highway.
yeah, right off the highway. So I give my phone to Ray and I say, punch in Wild Adventures in the GPS. And it said, this destination is closed. And they were not, they weren't even open. They had no operating hours that day.
Oh.
Well, it was a Monday, whatever.
So then
Well, you were just grabbing
know.
at the straws trying to do something.
I was 0 for 2, so I tucked my tail between my legs and we went home. And then
yeah, like you said, you used all your magic at Dollywood.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, so while we were in the car trying to figure out what to do was when Dollywood was like, y'all, please don't come. Like, there's too many people here. While I was
open an hour later, please don't come though.
While I
Yeah.
was at the park, I joined the r/Dollywood subreddit, and there was like a guest entrance employee that posted that night, and he's like, "Yo, this was the single busiest day this park has ever seen. We had 42,000 people."
What?
God,
Wow.
that's busy. That's like jam packed for Cedar Points.
Not all in the park at the same time, but that was the final count for the day.
That's
Wow.
insane.
And I think just
I
every
won't wanna be there.
just every park was like that because Dean and Abby went to SeaWorld that day, and
I heard it was nuts.
SeaWorld was
Yeah.
also in the 50,000 plus club that day too.
Crazy.
So I think just every park in the country was slammed that day.
I've been to SeaWorld on a 50,000 plus day. It
Yeah.
wasn't fun.
But then the next day was New Year's Eve, as Carson mentioned. He spent it down here, so I went over and met up with him for a little bit. I mean, pretty much the whole day, honestly. And we had a lot of fun that night. We did Velocicoaster, E.T., Rip Ride Rocket, Gringotts.
We rode ET at night.
E.T. at night.
That
Literally.
makes a difference.
It
Troller
was actually
coaster.
after midnight, so you know.
Don't let Carson talk all big and strong. His first ride of the year was the goddamn Troller coaster. As was mine.
I thought we were gonna keep that quiet.
Mine, I have not gotten the first ride of the year, but mine will be an Alpine coaster on Royal Caribbean's private island. So
What were
will
we
be-
wanting? We were wanting to ride something and it was closed, right?
We wanted to ride Mummy, and Mummy was longer than we were willing to wait.
Right. Yeah. And we're like, well, let's ride the roller coaster.
So yeah, Universal on New Year's Eve was
natural
awesome.
progression.
Yeah.
No mummy, so let's go ride roller coaster.
We
Hey, it actually was pretty cool.
we went out into City Walk for the countdown. It was cool, but man, was it insane.
Oh God,
Getting
it was
back
so
to it.
bad.
I mean, I could imagine City Walk, but were the parks equally as busy,
No,
or was it
because-
just like
because
everybody
City-
was hanging out in City Walk?
No, because City Walk is a free event, so people show
yeah,
up, go to City Walk,
Well,
watch
all
the fireworks.
All the doors were inside
Yeah.
riding rides.
Yeah.
Yep.
When we were heading back towards studios to go back in, I'm not even kidding you, there was like 100 of us fighting against a crowd of about 25,000, all going the other direction.
I think I was like leading the way with the guy that was like from like Florida, like he was like chop chop and whatever, and I was like, all right, well, let's just follow this guy, and we literally
It was
kind of
basically like trying to enter Horror Nights at 1:30 a.m.
Yeah, it was something. It was
Except
something.
way
It was
worse.
really bad.
And then the next day, that whole same group went to SeaWorld, so that was pretty fun. I had a good day.
Yeah. Got to feed the sea lions. That was cool.
Feed the sea lions. You
Got-
guys did all the coasters except you missed out on Kraken and you missed out on Manta, but you did everything else.
Yeah. I mean, we were there for a few hours and got everything all done. We also got to go to Worldwide Corals. Shout out to Justin's favorite place.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
The
No, I think that's it for myself.
Yeah, the only other thing of note that I've done that is worthy to talk about on the show is I stopped into Busch Gardens Tampa yesterday. I was over on that side of the state for work for the day, and popped in after work. It was fun. I showed up at 4. The park closed at 5, and I literally scanned into the park. Literally scanned in the park at 4:01. So between 4:01 and 5, I did 2 laps on Gwazi, 2 on Cheetah Hunt, Montu, Cobra's Curse, Falcon's Fury, and Phoenix Rising. So I had a good hour.
And that's not from going from Iron Gwazi's where you started, walking over to Egypt and doing those rides, and then going to Falcon's Fury. That is not a short walk.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I was moving with a purpose.
That was that's a power hour for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there clearly wasn't any crowds to slow you down.
No, Iron Gwazi had like a 2-train wait, but when we came back into the station, there was a single rider in my row.
There you go.
So I got to stay on, and then everything else was a walk on. Cheetah Hunt, like Montu, Cobra's Curse, everything.
Cheetah
else
Hunt
was
being a walk on is unreal.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I rode, literally, I got last train of the night on Phoenix Rising, and it was a Zen ride. I rode it by myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
This went way longer than I thought it was going to. That's it. I don't have anything else to talk about.
We might be back next week. I don't know.
Well, I'll be back next week because I will share what
you learned,
heard, and what I learned from the ACE event. So there'll be at least a podcast next week that I will myself will talk if
it might be
you guys
time for your first solo one.
Maybe.
I'll
We'll see. Yeah.
I'll probably be here next week. It might be me and you show.
Well, if you guys were there, I might as well too. But we'll
All
say
right.
that.
Well, I do have one more trick up my sleeve for y'all. We got a new intro. We also have a new outro.
Oh.
So I'll go ahead and kick that on. All right. Like we said, we will be back next week. I will be here. Had a really good time catching up with you guys. I feel energized and ready to go. That's all I got.
Thanks for listening. Welcome back. Season 4, yay? I don't know. Talk to you next week.
Make sure you share this podcast with all of your friends and your coworkers, and make sure you rate us. Thanks for listening to us, and I can't wait for the new coaster season to start.
Thanks for tuning in to the Rundown on Fun. Don't forget to follow us on social media for all the latest updates from Six Flags Entertainment. And remember, always be kind to your ride operators. See you soon.